Yes. Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about QADT. This is the next topic in Unit 2. Okay, last class we discussed about Stack ADT with applications. What are the applications we discussed in Stack? Next, small recap about Stack. Okay, last class we discussed about what are the basic fundamental of Stack ADT. Then how we implemented Stack. We implemented in two ways using array as well as linked list. Then we discussed what are all the applications of Stack. Okay. So based on that, here you have the quiz MCQ type questions. You just read the question and interact with me. If you know the answer, as usual, you can put it in the chat box. This is a recap, small recap about Stack. Okay. Now Stack in data structure. Okay, what is the data structure we are using Stack? Whether it is first in first out or last in last out or last in first out or none of these. What is the answer? Student, please respond to me. Yeah, Bharat, very good. Neena Sri also good. Okay, so don't forget the Stack data structure. It follows the, what is the answer here? Last in first out. The answer is D. Okay, last in first out order. Now the second question. In the stack, if user try to remove element from the empty stack, then it is called as, already I told you, before inserting element and after deleting the, before delete the element, we need to check two conditions, okay? One is overflow condition, another one is underflow condition. So based on this condition, what is the answer? What is the answer now? If in the stack, if the user you try to remove an element from the empty stack, then this is called as, what is the answer for second question? Which condition we are going to check? Yeah, Sai, Divya, is it correct? Yes, Gayatri, Deepika, yeah. So your answer is correct. The answer B, this underflow condition. Okay. So if here we are going to perform the remove operation so that we are going to check whether the elements are there or not, so underflow. Whenever you are going to perform push operation, we have to check whether our stack is overflow. Okay, that is the two conditions. Next, third question. Yeah, in order to keep track of current topmost element of the stack, we need to maintain one variable. Is it true or false? Yeah, only three keywords we are using in stack. Already I told you, push, pop, and top. Okay, why we are maintaining that top? This is a stack data structure. So all the insertion and deletion will be performed at the one end. Okay, that one end is called as top. So that we are going to maintain the top variable. Yeah, what is the answer here? Answer for this question 3. True or false? Yeah, is it true? Good. Yeah, the fourth question. Yeah, most of them are giving correct answer. Very good. The fourth one, consider stack is implemented using the array. Yeah. Here this is a consider in this stack maximum size is 10. Okay, now here we are passing array of 10. Int top is equal to dash. Okay, what will be the initial value which the top is initialized? Okay, what is the initial value of this top? 0 or some garbage value, -1 or 1. What is the initial value of top here? Yeah, Ritika, Vika, Harish, Deepika. Yeah, the answer is -1. Okay, here we have to initialize top is equal to -1. So what is the meaning? Already I told you -1 it represents our stack is empty. Okay. Yeah. Now fifth question. Consider stack is implemented using array. Okay. This is a stack. The maximum size is 10. Now int top is equal to -1. Okay. Now in this implementation of stack, maximum value of top which cannot cause overflow will. Which is the condition? Here option A is 10, 9, 11 and any other option. What is the answer for this? Question number 5. Which value will cause the overflow condition? Yeah, Sindhu, your answer is correct. Then, yeah. So the answer is 9. Why it is 9? If it is 9, it shows the overflow condition. Because we know that the stack is the index starting from 0. Okay. So 0 to 9. Up to this 9, it will accept. After that, it shows the overflow error. The sixth one. Yeah. The postfix form of the given expression. What is the postfix form of the given expression? Yeah. Take your notebook. Take your notebook and solve it. Give the answer. What is the answer for this one? A plus postfix evaluation. Okay. You have to convert this infix to postfix form. What is the answer? Either A, B, C, or D. Yeah. What is the answer? Answer is, make it fast. Give your answer and take chat box. Yeah, Vishnu Ocean, answer is C. Once again, you have to check. Check your answer. Bharat Kumar also B. You also check whether it is correct or not. You have to pop the operator properly. Why all you are giving different answer? Give the correct answer. Sindhu, once again you have to verify this answer. Sindhu also verify. Now you have to do the expression, do the pop operation properly. You have to consider the operator precedence rule inside this parenthesis. Already I told you. If parenthesis is occur, what we have to do? Everything we discussed in the last class. Yeah. Now I will get, what is that answer is A. Okay, most of them giving correct answer now. Before that you gave A, B, C and D and all. Now you gave correct answer, okay? See, actually the answer is option A, AB plus CD asterisk E minus FG slash asterisk and asterisk symbol. Okay, this is a correct answer for infix to postfix evaluation. Right. Seventh question. The postfix form of the given expression is a very easy. What is the answer for this one? The postfix form of the given expression is, option is, what is the option? Option A or B or C or D? Yes? Yeah. Answer is correct. Very good. The answer is B. Okay. AB asterisk CD slash plus. Eighth question. Yeah. The prefix form of, you have to consider this one. Okay. A minus B slash open parenthesis C asterisk D, then cap symbol E, then closing parenthesis. Okay. Last class we discussed the fix to postfix conversion. Then we discussed postfix evaluation also. Okay. But here you have to convert this infix into prefix form. Okay. So what we only small thing you have to change. In infix to postfix, we are going to scan the character from left to right. Okay. The remaining and all same. Here you have to consider the character, read or scan the character from right to left. Again, you have to check all the operator precedence rule one by one. As usual, okay, if operand is there, you can put it in the prefix expression output box. If operator is there, you push into stack and check the operator precedence rule. Okay, now give me the answer for this prefix form. Just you try. Only the small constraint is you have to scan from right to left. Any one of you? Give the correct answer. I will accept. Expect the correct answer from you. Either A, B or C or D. First operator வச்சு decide பண்ணாதீங்க. You have to do all the procedure carefully. For all the 4 options, first operator is same. Yes, what is the answer? Yeah, answer is, yeah, Rio, your answer is C. Okay, Grista Reddy, your answer is also C. Devana Reddy, C. Good. Yeah, so the answer is C mark. Okay, so minus A/B asterisk C cap symbol DE. Okay, that is your answer, prefix notation. Okay, convert this infix into prefix form. Okay, answer is C. Note it down. Then, 9th question. What is the result of the following operation? Top. Here we are performing push operation. Here I am calling the push operation inside this top function. Okay, top of push stack comma x. Okay, here what is the result of the following operation? Whether it is null or it returns stack or none or it returns top. That is x. What is the answer? What is the answer for this question? Yeah, answer is A, because here I am calling the top operation. Already I told you top, it always returns the top of the element in the stack. So it returns the concerned element value x. Okay, wow. So that the answer is x. Yeah. So these are all the small recap about stack ADT. These are the assignment problem I have given. No, 10 problems in infix to postfix infix to postfix conversions. Then postfix evaluation I gave 1, 2, 5 problems. Okay. Yeah, you just take the screenshot. Once you verify this answer with your answer. Okay. Later, if we have time in this end of this session, we will discuss all those answers. Okay. You just take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this first one. I hope you all completed. You just verify with this your answer. Okay. This is the answer for the first 5 questions. This is the answer for the next 5 questions. Don't copy, otherwise you can't convert any given expressions. Okay, you have to try yourself. So in exam, I told you know that procedure. You can put the box, output box as well as stack box. Whenever operand comes, you can put it in the output box. Then the operator comes, you can put it in the stack. Then you have to pop the operators in stage by stage. You have to explain properly. Okay. Yeah. The next one. This is the answer for postfix evaluation. So the first question I told you is directly in postfix form, so no need to perform the conversion and all. You can directly evaluate the given expression. So the answer is 12. In the second question, it is in the form of infix form. Okay, so we must convert this into postfix. Then you have to convert the evaluation part. Okay. This is a different one for 14th one. 14th one, you must convert this into postfix form. Then you have to substitute all the values for the given variable. You have to substitute A 2, then B is equal to 3, then you can substitute C 5, then D is equal to 4. Okay, so you take the screenshot. Shall I move on to the next one? Yes. One more demo is pending there. Now I will show you the demo of the last part, okay, postfix evaluation. For postfix evaluation. Have you all seen my CodeSurf window? Raji ma'am? Yes, okay. Yeah, here this CodeSurf window. First, you have to select the languages, which language you are going to implement. And this is my code. Is it? Copy inside. Code கொஞ்சம் பெருசா தெரியுதா? இல்ல. ஓ, சரி. சரி, நான் வேற எதுவும் ஜூம் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். வேற அப்போ. சரி. Okay, here, this is the implementation part. Here we are going to convert. First thing, declare the node. Okay, so here node is called as here stack. Already I told you. Inside that we have the data part and next part. Okay, this is a postfix evaluation. Here I am using array concept. Okay, so now create a stack using this malloc function. You say that you are going to assign all those values data part and next part. Then you have to check whether it is stack is empty or not. Okay, then if you want, you have to check the top peak. Okay, peak operation. Then you have to perform the pop and push operation one by one. This is a evaluation part. How we are going to evaluate? Already I told you the same procedure. If it is operand come, we can put it into the stack. That's why here I am calling the stack function one by one. Okay, once if operator is reached, okay, we have to evaluate the corresponding operation. Okay, that's why we are passing this switch case statement. If the operator is addition, it will perform the addition operation with these two popped value. Okay, next, this is for evaluation part. Then this is the main function. Okay, so inside this main function, I am calling this expression. This is for postfix expression I am giving here 231 asterisk plus 9 minus. Okay, this is my input expression. Okay, now I'm going to run this program. Before that, what will be the output for this expression? 231 asterisk plus 9 minus. What is the output for this one? Yes, give your answer in chat box. What is the output of this expression? Suraj also very good. Your answer is 4. So this is the postfix evaluation is equal to 4. Okay, this is your final answer output. So this is a method how we have to implement the postfix evaluation using the C language. Nothing is there in this code. Okay. So what are the function? Here we have to, as usual, the same function, stack, create a stack. How we have to create a stack? Then you have to check is empty function. This is, if you want, you can use this peek function. Here we need the peek because after this, once the operator is found, what we have to do, we can pop the element. Okay. For popping, we need to use this peek function, or if you want to print the top value, you can use this peek. Yeah. Next one. Yeah. So listen, today's topic is a QADT. Is another data structure, linear data structure. Is a QADT. Then we are going to discuss about how we have to implement the queue. As usual, we have two methods using array as well as linked list implementation. In that queue, we have the some types of queues are the circular queue, double-ended queue, and priority queue. Okay, we will discuss one by one. Now QADT. Sure. It is a linear data structure. Here you have to concentrate in like in stack, we are concentrate on push and pop operation. Push operation, which is similar to that is insertion, and pop it will perform deletion operation, and the top it always return the topmost value. Okay. Here in a queue we have the same thing, insertion and deletion. Okay, we are using insertion occurs at the one end, that is called as rear end. Okay, and deletion that will be always performed at another end is also called as front end. So you can note it off this rear and front pointer. Okay, rear and front. Here we are using two pointer value. One is rear pointer as well as front pointer. Okay, assume this structure. See, listen, consider this one. This is our queue. Okay, you have to maintain two pointer. One is rear, another one is front pointer. Okay, the concept is in this rear pointer, if you are going to perform the insertion operation, okay, we must use the rear pointer, this end. Okay, one end. Okay, if you want to perform the deletion operation, we can use the front pointer. Okay, compulsory the deletion will perform at the another end. Got it? This is the important point of the queue. Insertion is performed at the rear point and deletion is performed at the front point. Okay, front end. Insert rear end and front end. Okay, but whereas in stack, okay, we performed both insertion and deletion at the one end. That is called as top end. But this is the difference between stack and queue. That's why the element that is inserted first is deleted. Already we discussed more. Okay, queue data structure is the first in, first out order. That is queue, normal queue. How we are maintaining queue? First in, first out order. Okay, whereas in stack we are maintaining last in, first out order. Okay, then apart from that, in queue we are using two technical keyword, NQ and DQ. Okay, whereas in stack we are using push and pop. Here in queue we are using two technical term, NQ and DQ, which is nothing but NQ is similar for insertion operation and DQ is for deletion operation. Got it? These are all the important points we are going to discuss in queue. So operations in queue, the two major operations, NQ and DQ. Inserting an element into the queue is called as NQ. Deleting an element from the queue is called as DQ operation. Okay. As usual, again we have the two conditions, overflow and underflow condition. Okay. When we will check the overflow condition, whenever we are going to insert the new data. Okay. New data, that is when if our queue is full or not, we can check is the overflow condition. Whenever we are going to delete the data from the queue, we are going to check whether our queue is underflow or not. That is, if your queue is empty or not. Okay, these are all the two conditions based on this queue. Lot of real-time examples are there. This is simply we are going to maintain the queue. Okay, wow. This is standing in queue. Okay, first preference is first in, first out. Okay, this is a normal queue procedure. Queue is always based on this first in, first out order. Okay. Next, these are also some of the applications of queue. Okay, here we are having three applications. Lot of applications are there. So now the first one is a printer CPU task scheduling. This is one of the important applications of queue. Okay, here it follows it serves the request on a single shared resources. Okay, what is the concept behind this? If you perform, that is a printer CPU task is maintain the single shared resources concept. That means if you are giving the first print out print, then if you are giving the second one, okay, second print first, if the first task is completed, then only it will come into the second task. Okay, until the second printer document will be in the queue. Okay, you have seen already. You have seen in your printer, the another document is in queue. Okay, that is the concept of queue data structure. That is first concept in printer. The second, one more real-time scenario, call center phone calls uses the queues concept. Okay, what is the concept here in real-life scenario? The call center phone systems uses a queue to hold the people calling them. Okay, in an order. How they are maintaining the queue to call, keep the phone call in first out order until the resource next service representative is free. They will maintain the callers in first out order. Okay, that is another real-time example. That third one is for handling of interrupts in real-time systems. Okay, this is nothing but the interrupts are handled in the same order. Okay, that means they arrive in first in, first out. It will concentrate on the first interrupt in the. It resolve the first interrupt in the first order. Okay, then it concentrate on the second interrupts. Then it will concentrate on the third interrupts one by one. Okay, so all these are the some of the applications of queue. Next part is the implementation of queue. Okay, so now first part. Okay, here the queue can be implemented. Okay, how the queue can be implemented? So we all know that here the queue can be implemented in two ways. As already we discussed in linked list stack, the same two methods are the implementation of using array as well as implementation of using linked list. Okay, so this is the first one. The same thing. Array is a data structure. Static data structure is already we know that is a collection of similar data type comes under with one name. Okay, wow. There are already I told you whatever implementation it is the array or linked list, we must use the two variables. In linked list we have using the keyword front pointer, rear pointer. But this is array implementation, so that I am using the variable front and variable rear. Okay, two variables here I am using, whether it is a pointer variable or normal variable. Okay, front and rear. Then as usual, front and rear variables point to the position from where the insertion and deletions are performed. That is, front always point to the first position, rear is always point to the last position. Okay, this is a structure. Here, one more initial condition, you note it down, front and the rear, which is equal to -1. That is the representation of our queue is empty. Okay, it represents our queue is empty. This is a notation of queue. So this is a queue. Here, always we are going to perform is a see the first one I showed here. Here, front and rear. Okay, but in this example. Okay, see, here we have the rear pointer, rear variable. Here I am having front variable. That is not at all matter. Okay, if you want, you have to change wherever it is. But only one thing, where you are having the front end, you must perform the deletion operation this end. Okay, where you are having the rear pointer, in that side, you must perform the NQ operation. That you have to concentrate. Okay, but keeping rear and front here and there is not at all matter. Okay, this is the first in, first out. Yes, have you all understand? Yeah, second one, implementation of using linked list. That we will discuss the one by one in later, but this is a simple definition, okay, how we are implementing. Linked list, already I told you, is a linked list representation. We need a node declaration, which is similar to singly linked list. The node, it has the data part as well as the next part. The next part, it always holds the address of the another node. The data part, it holds the data, whether it is integer data, it can be integer or character or float, whatever it may be. This is a representation, logical representation of queue implementing using linked list. Okay. Now we move on to the implementation of queue using array. First type, implementation of queue using array. Before we discuss that, some of the operations are we performed on queue. Okay, these are all the basic operations on queue. Now, already I discussed what is the enqueue operation. Yes, it is similar to enqueue, which is nothing but it performs insertion. Okay, enqueue is nothing but it performs insertion operation at the rear end. Dequeue, it performs the deletion operation at the front end. Okay, next one, front, or if you want, you can call peak. Okay, peak keyword we are using, generally we are using peak. You all know that peak. What is the meaning of this peak? Peak, it always, yes? Any one of you? What is the concept of peak? Any one of you? Give a okay, it shows the peak, it shows the last element. Okay, sorry. Here so now the third function is for peak. Okay, this operation, it returns always the front element. Okay, if you can write this here. Okay, so in stack we discussed peak, it always returns the what is the topmost element inside in stack. Okay, but here whenever you are calling this front function, it always return the front, it always return the in this data structure. Already I told you, if you want, you can write front end pointer wherever. If you want, you can specify. Okay, based on that, it will returns. If you keep front here means, okay, it will always what is that? It always returns the what is the first element in that queue. Okay, here the rear, here it is rear. It always represent the topmost element, last element in the queue. So here you can call the function rear. It always return the last element in the queue. Okay, front, it always return the first element in the queue. Now you can keep it in your mind any one data sector. Okay, any one representation you can keep it in your mind. You can keep this. This is a general notation. Okay, front and rear. Front is always here, rear always here. Okay, you can note it down that representation. But in textbook, you can have this type of representation is also there. One more operation is empty. Already you know is empty is nothing but check whether our stack is queue is empty or not. Is full, it return check whether our queue is full or not. Okay. Then display function, display, it display all the elements one by one from the queue. These are all the basic operations we are going to perform in the queue. Okay. So now, so apart from that, what is the conclusion? So the element can be inserted at the one end. That end is called as, what is it? That end is called as, any one of you, if the element is inserted at the one end, that end is called as, any one of you, element is inserted at the one end, that end is called as, yes, any one of you respond me. Rear end, if the element is If we are going to perform the deletion operation at which end? Deletion. We are going to perform the deletion at front end. That is the important concept. Okay, NQ, DQ. NQ is in rear, DQ is the front. Okay. Next, note it down. Just to take a screenshot. This is the algorithm for NQ operation. Just take a screenshot. This is the algorithm or steps in NQ operation. Yeah. Again, as usual, the first step, before insert the new data inside the queue, we have to check whether our queue is full. That is the overflow condition. Okay, if it is not overflow, you enter into the next one. Okay, what is the next step? Only one important step. We just increment the rear. Okay, this is the important point. Okay, why I am concentrating only rear pointer? Why I am concentrating on rear pointer? Because this is a NQ operation. Okay, I told you NQ is performed only at the rear end. That's why you don't bother about the front and all. Once you check overflow condition, then you just increment rear pointer by 1. Okay, after increment this rear by 1, you just insert the new data. Got it? These are all the simple steps. Take a screenshot for this algorithm. Next, this is a code part. This is a code. Consider this routine. So now we are going to discuss about how we are going to insert the data. Okay, NQ operation in queue. Okay, so before that, perform this NQ operation, this is array implementation. No, we have some initialization statements are there. Before you are going to perform this array implementation, we must declare our array size. Okay, what is our first step? We must declare the array size. Why we are going to declare the array size? Array declaration, array initialization is first. Yes. First, we have to declare the array size. Otherwise, this is what is the concept behind this? Declaring array size is the first. What is the concept behind this? Any one of you? What is the concept behind this? Yes, declaring array size is, yeah, array implementation. What is the concept behind this? Once you declare the array here, yeah, static memory. Nityashree, is the array is not a pointer concept. This is a simple array implementation. So that first we need to declare the array size. Before at the runtime, we can't increase or decrease that array size. So first very most important step is you have to declare the array size. That is static memory allocation. Okay. For example, consider this throughout this example, declaring my array size is equal to 5. Okay, that is the first step. Then second step, the important step, you have to declare the front variable and rear variable is equal to -1. Okay, you have to initialize, assume initialize front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1. Rear is equal to -1. These two are you have to declare, initialize the very first step. Array size as well as you have to initialize front is equal to -1, then rear is equal to -1. Okay. Now, why we are going to initialize this front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1? See, consider this. Okay, this is my index 0, always starting from 0th index, index 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that means my array size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so initially it is -1. That means I am going to initialize front is equal to -1 as well as rear is equal to -1. Okay, I am initializing front is equal to -1, then rear is equal to -1. Okay, these are all the pre-initialization. Now we have to check first one by one. Okay, now enter into the implementation part. My array name is, here what is my array name is? Q. Okay, only 3 things. Array name is the Q, my array size is 5. Then initialize front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1. Okay, now we have to check the first NQ. Now I'm going to insert the new element. Consider this new element is 12. Okay. Now my variable is 12. Consider enter into this 12 here, calling the enqueue function with the variable 12. Okay. So what is the first step? First it will check. What is the first step? This is the first condition. It will check what is it? Rear is equal to max minus 1. Why I am checking first condition is a important condition. I told you whenever you are going to perform enqueue operation, you must check the overflow condition. Okay, why I am using this rear pointer? Okay, this is always insertion is performed at the rear end, so that I am going to check only rear variable alone. Okay, now what is it? Rear double equal to minus 1. Consider this example. Okay, consider this one. In this example, my rear is equal to 4. Okay, rear equal to, what is it rear value here? Rear is equal to 4. What is it maximum value? Sorry, here rear is equal to, after consider this position, front is equal to 1. When after this incrementation, it will point the position 1 by 1. Okay, initially we have to check if rear is equal to max minus 1, 5. Okay, 5 minus 1, 4. So now 4, what is our rear value here? 0th index from starting from 0. So rear equal to 4. If rear is equal to max minus 1, if both are equal, that is known as overflow condition. Okay, so it won't enter into this else part. It will come out from the loop. This is my first condition. First, you have to check the overflow condition. For checking this overflow, no need to consider this front part alone. Front part, you have to consider only rear. What is the rear pointer value? Okay, got it? This is overflow condition. Okay, so now my first condition is okay. Here in this example, this is overflow. Okay, now else part. Okay, it come out the enter into the else part. Else if front is equal to minus 1, rear is equal to minus 1. What is the meaning of this statement? Front equal to minus 1, rear equal to minus 1. See, consider this example. Now I am front and rear is equal to minus 1. That means what is the meaning behind this? Any one of you? What is the meaning behind this? Front is equal to minus 1, rear equal to minus 1. Say my Q. What is my Q structure here? Yeah, empty. So don't forget, this is the condition throughout the program we are using. Wherever we are using front is equal to minus 1 and rear equal to minus 1, that means our Q is empty. Okay. So first condition is the overflow. Okay. Is it not overflow? It comes into the second condition. So in second condition, you have to check whether our Q is empty or not. Okay. If it is empty, what we have to do? Okay, the second case, empty, what we have to do? Front is equal to rear equal to 0. That means you have to increment this by rear and front by 1. Okay, so minus 1 plus 1, what is it? 0. So now my rear increment, the meaning is rear and front is equal to minus 1. Got it? Okay, if second condition, if your Q is empty, you just increment rear and front 1. Okay, that means here my front is here, my rear is also here. Okay, this is my front and this is my rear value. Got it? Yes, front and rear. The second case. Now consider this example. This is my second case. Okay, now consider this third case. If second case, it enters into the else if statement, or in third case. Okay, the second case you complete this one. Okay, once you increment, as usual, what we have to do, put the what is the element we are passing here into Q of rear. Okay, what is the Q of rear? 0. That is 0th index. Okay. Now in third case, consider this example. Okay, for third case, consider this example. It enters into the else part. Okay, what is the else part in third case? In our Q, it has some element. Okay, it has some element. So after that element, we are going to insert the new data. Got it? Third case is nothing but Q has some other element. After that element, we are going to insert the new data. So here I am passing that element. What is that element? You are passing new value. Assume here I am passing 20. Okay, ma. Now my front is equal to 0, rear is equal to 2. Okay. So what is the first case? Check rear is equal to 2, which is equal to 4. No, this is not true. So it enter into this again else if part. Now it will check front is equal to -1 and rear equal to -1. No, my front is equal to 0. My rear is equal to 2. So it won't enter into this part. So this condition is also not true. So again, now it comes enter into this else part. Okay. So what I told you, first you simply you have to increment the rear by 1. Okay, now what is it rear pointer? Rear is equal to 2, not increment by 1. Now rear is 3. Now rear is pointing here. Okay, rear is pointing here. Now you have to, what we have to do? Q of rear. What is the rear value? 3. So Q of 3, third index. In Q of 3 index, we have to pass the element. What is the element? I told you 20. Got it? Yes, just to increment the rear by 1, then you can put that element in the corresponding rear position. Okay, now our rear is pointing here. Got it? This is the insertion NQ operation. So if you want again, got it? Again, you can call NQ function with some other data. Okay, so it will check the first case, this is not true. Then the second case is also not true. Then it will enter into the third case. Third case is true because our Q has some other element. So after this, the last element, we are going to insert the new value. So what we have to do? Simply we have to increment rear by 1. Now our rear is pointing here. Okay, then we insert the new data in this corresponding index position. Got it? Any doubts on this? This is a concept of NQ operation. How we are going to perform the NQ operation? Only 3 condition, ma. Okay, don't forget. First, we check whether our NQ, that overflow condition. Okay, once overflow condition is over, then as usual, you have to check whether it is empty or not. Then you have to check. If not empty, you proceed to the third case. Got it? Yes, any doubts? Shall I proceed to the DQ operation? Students respond me. Shall I proceed to DQ operation? Harish, can we use Q of plus rear? Yeah, here you are using prefix operator. No problem. It automatically increase your rear by 1. No problem. Then, shall I proceed for the DQ operation? Shall I proceed? Students, please respond me. Yeah, Nityashree mattumda irukingla. What about others? Yeah, Varshini, Vandana, good. Yeah, now we are going to perform DQ operation. So this is an algorithm. Now what we have to do, you just read this algorithm. You can write the code. Okay, if you know the code, you can write in the chat box. Please, very simple concept. Nothing is there. Okay, for DQ operation. This is similar to for performing NQ, we are concentrated on the rear pointer. If you are going to perform DQ operation, we are concentrated on the front pointer. Okay, whoever is know the code, okay, you just, that is else part only alone. Else part alone I am telling. Yeah, this is a general algorithm. You just go through this already. This is a check whether it is underflow or not. Okay, whether it is underflow, you come out from the loop. Okay, otherwise you can get into the second condition. What is our second condition? Whether our Q is empty or not. Okay, is that is not empty. You can set the front pointer. This is a code algorithm, only small statement you have to change. Now, what is the code? You have to try yourself. If you know the answer, you just write the code in your chat box. You try yourself. This is a simple concept behind this. You all know that already. I told you for empty we are using the condition front double equal to -1 and rear double equal to -1. For that empty condition we are using. For the next one. Yeah, what we have to do? For insertion, we are incrementing rear by 1. Okay, increment rear by 1. That corresponding position we will insert the new node. Okay, for front, what we have to do? Remove that front element. You have to just increment front by 1. That's all. Try panala. You just try. Listen, this is a DQ operation. Yes, this is a DQ operation. First step, we have that check the condition. First we check the underflow condition. Then how we have to check? How we have to check whether this is a condition number 1. Okay, this is the condition number 1. How we have to check is the underflow or not. If the queue is empty, is a underflow condition. Okay, no problem. Then next one, if it is underflow, it come out from the loop. Otherwise, this is my second condition. Note it down. This is my second condition. What we have to do? If front and the rear is equal to same value. Okay. Yes. Consider this is now I have only one element in the queue. Now what is my front and rear? Here front will pointing to the 0th index and rear also will pointing to the same index. Rear also is pointing to the same index. Okay. So what the second condition is, we have to check if front is equal to rear, both are having the same index. What we have to do, you just set that front and the rear is equal to -1. Why we are using this statement? Any idea? Yes. If both front and rear, it points to the same index. Okay, what I have to do, I have to set front and rear is equal to -1. We all know that this is a statement we are using to check whether our queue is empty or not. Okay. Why I am using this statement inside this condition? Any one of you? Why I am using this statement inside this condition? Because, what is Anantya? Because we are removing the only element in queue. Okay, removing the element is okay. That is our main process, DQ. What happened after that removing? That is the answer. So end of the queue, front reached is equal to max -1 for making the queue empty. Yeah, okay. Front rear is equal to -1 for making the queue empty. Why we are making the queue empty? Yeah, why we are making the queue empty? Because see, consider after this element will be deleted. Okay, we must make this queue is empty. Okay. Otherwise, this front and rear it points to some garbage value. Okay. So after this, if you have only one element, so in this second case, you have to set our front and rear is equal to -1. That means our queue is empty. Okay. Now consider the third case. My queue is not empty. Okay, my queue has some other element. Okay. Third case, consider this one. My queue has the 3 integers 10, 20, and 30. Okay. Now I'm calling the DQ function. Okay, DQ. What is the concept is there? Before this statement is based which element you are going to be deleted, that if you want to print, you can use this printf statement. Okay. What is the printf percentage DQ of front means? Now my front is here 0. So that element will be displayed 10. Okay. Now what we have to do, just simply you can write front plus plus. That means you can increment front by 1. Now my front is pointing here. What is the meaning? Now my queue, it has front and rear. Only 2 elements. Okay, it won't bother about this 0th place. It won't bother about 0th place. Got it? Here no need to use the free keyword and all. Free keyword and all we are using only in the linked list representation. Okay, so now our queue is from front to rear only. Got it? So now once again I am calling the DQ function. Once again you're calling the DQ function. What is the condition? It is not empty. Okay, what is not empty? What is the rear and front of it has not same value? This also not true. Okay. Next, enter into the else part. This else part queue of 1. Okay, what is the queue of 1? It print the element 20, that is element to be deleted 20. Then now we increment front by 1. Now our queue is here. Only this position, front. Now, what is the condition? Now our referent is here. Okay, increment by 1. Again, call the DQ function once again. Is not empty. Now, what will be the case? This case is not true. What is front is equal to rear? Now, this is the second case. This case is true. So it enter into this part. Okay, what we have to do? Front is equal to rear equal to -1. So after deletion, it will enter into that, making our Q is, what is that? Making our Q is empty. Got it? Front and rear. Yes, this is a procedure for the deletion DQ operation in the Q. Okay. Next one. Any doubt on this? Yes, for NQ, we incrementing rear plus rear by 1. We have 3 cases. For DQ also, we have 3 cases, underflow. Okay, here we are going to check only one element, what we have to do. More than one element, what we have to do. Okay, 3 cases are there. Okay, now display operation. What is the doubt in Harish? What if 1, 2, 3, 4 front and rear are the same? It makes them. Hence error occurred. Wait. The second condition only compress the first and the last element and then making them to -1. What is the second condition? Second condition, when it is we have only one element, it enter, check the second condition. Okay, in our Q we have only one element. At that time our front and rear, it has the same value. Okay, so the previous condition also, front and rear also same value, but you have to verify the same value is equal to -1. Okay, that implies it is for underflow condition. Okay, if it is same value, okay, same value, it is the first, only one element is there, then you, after this deletion, we have to check this condition. Okay, we have to set the front and rear is equal to -1. Got it? Next one, display operation. Already a lot of time we discussed in display operation in list, stack, doubly linked, singly linked to the same procedure. Here also we are using, whenever we are going through traverse the queue or list or stack, we are using one temporary variable for traversing the list. So that here I am using the temporary variable I. Okay, already you have to check whether our queue is empty or not. If it is not empty, it enter into this else part. Okay. Usually here we are using I is equal to 0 with starting index, then increment I by 1, 1 and all. But we all know that always the front pointer, it points to the 0th index. Okay, so that I am using I is equal to front. Okay, then we all know that last rear, it always indicates the last element in the queue. So that I am checking why I less than or equal to rear. Got it? Less than or equal to rear. Okay, if it is true, okay, it will print Q of 0, first element. Then increment I plus plus. Then 1 is less than or equal to 4. It increment Q of 2, Q of 120. Like that, it display all the elements one by one by incrementing this I by value. Got it? This is for display operation. Any doubt on this display? Okay, nothing is there. Only check the underflow condition. If it is not, you can use this pointer, front and rear. Compulsory, you must use these two pointer variable, two variable, front and rear. Okay, don't use I is equal to 0 and all. Okay, yes, here we are using Q. So wherever, if you is necessary, you must use the front and rear variable. Okay, now next one, peak. Already I told you, peak, it returns the first element of the first element from the queue. So it return Q of front, it always return the first element. Okay. Next one is empty is another way. See, for checking is empty, you can use that condition also. Here I am using AND operator for checking is empty. If you want to use OR operator, you go for this condition also. Both are same only. Okay, any doubt? See, if front less than 0, that means -1. Here I'm using OR operator. You know the principle of OR. If any one of the condition is true, it will come out from the loop. It won't enter in, check the second one. Okay. Or first one, if front is less than 0, that is -1, it come out from the loop. Okay. Otherwise, sorry, you have to check front is greater than rear. It also come out from the loop. Okay. That maximum, that condition we are using in a circular queue, but this will also applicable here. This and all max is full. Already I told you, we have to check array size -1. If it is both are equal, rear and array size that is equal, it will be, the meaning is it returns true. That is our queue is full. So that's it. These are all the basic operations we performed on queue. Okay, using array implementation. Any doubts on this array implementation? This is a NQ, this is a DQ, this is a algorithm or routine for display. Other operations performed on queue is peak, is empty, is full. Any doubts on this? Students, any doubts on this? Can we use return? Return rear is equal to max -1. Usually we are using, if Boolean function, we can use, this is my data return, that is return type is here, I am using data type is Boolean. Okay, that's why return, it must return true or false value. Okay, if you are using int type, it returns whatever expressions. If you want, you can pass here. Okay, Harish, based on your return type only, this return statement will differ. Okay, if you want, you can pass expressions here written. Yes, any doubts? Other than Harish? Other than Harish, do you have any doubts, ma? Students, please ask me, or shall I move on to the next topic, linked list implementation? Yes, Suraj. Suraj, any doubts on this array implementation? Any operations? If you have any doubts, please ask me. No doubt. Okay, then. Anybody else? Okay, Nityasri, in print statement, format specifier. What is it in print? What is it format specifier, ma? Nityasri, you ask one more time. What's your doubt? Display function, okay, in display function. Yeah, in display function, here I'm using simple print. Don't worry about that. As usual, what we are using, printf statement, okay. This is a routine. Okay, Mama, this is a routine. So we are using no need. Already I told you very first class, this is a routine pseudocode. That's why no need to write printf, scanf statement and all. So if you are writing execute this implementation in C now, you can use printf. If you want to execute the implementation in C++, you can use corresponding cout statement. Okay, output statement is cout. Okay, you have to use the proper notation, printf. Okay, wow, Nityasri? Yeah. Okay. Usually, when you are writing the pseudocode, no need to expect this in printf, scanf statement and all. Okay. Yeah, which is understand by after this is a queue underflow, overflow, like that. You write that is enough. Okay. Exact format printf %df okay. Yeah. This is pseudocode only. When you are convert this pseudocode into program implementation part, you have to concentrate on all this. Okay, %d, all specifiers, everything you must concentrate on based on that languages. Okay. Any doubts, Nityasri? Okay. In SMT, front is greater than rear when this condition possible. Yeah, this condition is possible in some cases. Okay. Later we will discuss when that condition will occur. Okay. That condition is also possible. Okay. Later we will discuss in that case also. Okay. Yeah. In circular queue and all, we are using that condition. Okay. In normal queue also, we will use that condition also. Is it also possible? Okay. Yeah. Next one. Shall I move on to the next implementation part, linked list? Students, any doubts? Yeah, any doubts? Yeah, next one. Yeah, this is a demo for array implementation of Q. Okay, this is a code part. Okay, now already I told you define the array size first. This is my array size is 5. Then I will declare all the functions one by one. Function declarations here. Declare all the functions one by one. Enq, deq, display p, class is empty, is full. All the functions you declare first. Okay. Then initialization of front and rear is equal to -1. Okay. This is my Q declaration. Okay. This is my array size. My define macro statement. I'm using max size is equal to 5. Then I declare the array Q of max size. Okay. Next, write the main function. Okay. Here I have 8 choices are there. Each and every choice, it will perform the corresponding operation. Choice one is the enq, deq, display, like that. Now this is the enq operation. Same thing, overflow condition. If it is empty, set that rear and front. Else, increment rear by 1. Then the corresponding position, you can insert the value. Okay. Got it? The same code only I converted. If you want, you can take a screenshot. Coding part நீங்களே try பண்ணுங்க. Okay. Ma'am will send the PPT. Based on that PPT, you will try the coding point. Else part, same thing for DQ function. See, listen, here I am using front greater than rear, that condition, or part condition. Whether we will check whether it is working or not. Okay. Yes. DQ, this is underflow. Then we will check if it is not empty. DQ operation, then display the data one by one. Front, give a last element, then is empty separately, is full. Got it? So you keep it in your mind. The options are 1, 2, 3. The order mind vechkonga. First one for insertion, second deletion, third one for display. Then fourth one is for first element, fifth one last is empty, is full. Okay. So now here I'm using switch case statement. Okay. So that I'm going for custom input. Yes, got it all. Select the custom input. Then I'm giving the inputs one by one. So now my first choice, giving my choice is 1. Then I enter the element 10. Again, choice 1. I'm giving the new element 20. Again, once again, I'm giving choice, save NQ. The new data is 30. Okay. Once again, choice one NQ operation. I'm giving fourth element. Okay. Next one. Same option. Give the element 50. Okay. So I inserted 5 elements. What is our third option is the display. Then I am giving display operation, third one. Okay, it will display the data one by one. Next, I am calling the second option, DQ. Okay, second option one time. First time I am calling the DQ operation. Again, one more time I am calling the DQ operation. Now this position I am giving option 3, display. After DQ, what are all the elements in the queue? Okay, well, display. Now I am calling the fourth option. What is the fourth option is front element. Okay, then I am calling the fifth option is the last element, rear. Okay, wow, rear. Now I am calling the option 7 and 8. What is 6 and 7? 6 is whether our queue is empty. 7th is our queue is full or not. Okay, then I am giving 8. Option 8 is for exit 0. Okay, if not the option 8 is no need to give. Other than 7, it will automatically come out from the loop. Okay, now run the code. See, listen, this is our output. Have you all seen your screen? This is our output. Okay, now the first, enter your choice, enter the element. See, listen, here value is inserted first time. Okay, then second time again value is inserted, then third time also value is inserted, fourth time value inserted, fifth time value is inserted. Okay, then display. Third option, display. It display all the 5 values one by one. Next I called DQ 2 times. Okay, so first one value deleted, again value deleted, 2 times DQ operations were performed. Okay, so after DQ I called the display function, so that what is that value? This is first in first out sequence, so that first 2 elements DQ. Okay, first 2 elements are removed from the queue. So after DQ we have only 30, 40 and 50, 3 elements inside the queue. After that I called peak, front, so that it returns 30, first element 30. After that I called the rear, so it returns last element 50. Okay, so after that I called is empty. No, my queue is not empty. We have 3 elements are there. Then now my queue is full. What is our queue? Queue is full. Fifth element is over, so full. Here enter the choice 8, so it come out from the loop. So if you want, once again, if your queue is full or not, underflow condition, if you want to check now, what we have to do? If you want to check, first time 20, 30, 50. After that, if you want to give the choice 1, again you can give one more element, excess element. Okay, 60. Then I'm going to run the same code. Okay, run the code. See here, listen. We are inserted first 2, 3, fourth time. After this 5th time, value is inserted. After the 5th time, okay, what we will get? Overflow condition. Okay, when you are going to insert the 6th element, we will get the statement like this. Okay, what is the statement? Overflow. Now our queue is overflow. Got it? So then it will perform the pop operation. It won't accept that last 6th element. Okay. So any doubt on this? Shall I move on to the linked list representation? Shall I move on to the linked list representation? Nandita, good. One more thing. Now this is some animation demo for this queue. this is my queue. Okay, first we have to consider empty queue. Okay, empty queue. What is my first operation? NQ. See, listen, the keywords are here. I am using. When I use panikang, check panikonga. This is NQ, DQ. Okay. So first one NQ. I'm going to insert the data 57. 57 is insert. This is the very first time, so that head and tail points to the same node. Okay. Next one again. Once again, perform NQ operation. Okay. Next position. Increment rear by 1. Tail here they are using head and tail is the front and rear. Okay. Again one more time. NQ operation one more time. Front and rear. Then one more time NQ operation. Yes, NQ. Okay. Now this is front and rear. Okay. Now DQ operation. First time DQ. It removes the head front element is removed. Okay. Always DQ performed at the front end. Then one more time DQ. Again first element is removed from the queue. Then now I am calling the function peak. Okay. So here screen karida. So it returns a value stored at the head, that is 97. 97 is our peak value. Okay. Yes, any doubts? This is for, this is a empty queue. If you randomly, if you want select now, you can perform all those operations from random elements. Or if you want to select random size fixed element, if you want, you can select. Or user defined list, if you want, you can give your own list. Okay. So based on that, we are going to perform NQ, DQ, and peak operations. Okay. This is a simple demo of queue. Now next one. Yeah, implementation. Yeah, implementation of queue using linked list. Okay, linked list is nothing but we are using pointer concept. Okay. Now this is before this, we all know that before I enter into this pointer concept, we must declare the node. Then we can create a node. We can allocate memory for this node. Then only we have to perform the NQ and DQ operations. Okay, these are all the previous steps before we enter into this NQ and DQ. We are going to perform all those things one by one. First, include all the header files if you want. Then define the node. Declare the node with two. What is the two part? As usual, already I told you that in a representation of this queue linked list representation only two parts. One is the data part, another one for next field part. Okay. Yes. First one, then two pointers, front and rear also we have to set. If it is a first node, front and rear it points to the first node. Okay. Wow. Or if you have already nodes are there, you can perform all those operations one by one. This is a node representation. The same code, same declaration, same diagram. Okay. What is the declaration? Stack the keyword, then node name node. It includes the integer data, then one pointer. This is again the pointer to the next node. That is the data type is stack type data. Okay. Then already this is a queue, so that I am using two pointer, front pointer as well as the rear pointer. Okay. Here this is a linked list representation, so that we are using the keyword null. Okay. No need to use -1. So the null it represent null always it has the value of 0. That's why I'm initializing front is equal to 0, rear equal to 0. That means is a condition for checking queue is empty or not. Got it? Yes. Front pointer is equal to null, rear pointer is equal to null. Our queue is empty. Next, this is the algorithm for NQ operation. First step, create a node. Create a new node. As usual, node creation, then memory allocation. Then we set the whether our queue is empty or not. If it is not empty, we have to insert the change the pointer position. Okay, wow. Here we are concentrating again, we are concentrating only on the rear pointer. Okay, no need to concentrate on the front because we are doing NQ operation here. So this is the steps for NQ operation. Yes. Now what is the first step for first one? First step, here I am going to pass the new data. Any idea about this NQ operation? Yeah, now we are going to insert the first, assume whether our new data element is 10. Okay, assume. Now we are going to insert 10 into that queue. Before that, already these statements you are very familiar with that. Okay, before you are performing any operations on that in new node, first we can allocate the memory to this node using this malloc function. That is dynamic memory allocation. Okay, whether if n is equal to, it allocates some memory, you go for the next step. What is the next step? You can assign data 10 to the data part and assign n is equal to null. This is initially you can assign this next part is null. Okay. So now we have to check if rear is equal to rear double equal to null. What I told you, if rear is equal to null, front is equal to null means it is a empty. Empty. Our queue is empty. So that if this statement is true, what we have to do? What we have to do, set front and rear is equal to n. Now consider this is our new node. We have only one node in the queue. This is our new node. Got it up? So if it is empty, you have to set this front rear is equal to n. Now front and rear pointing to this new node. Else. That means our queue is not empty. Okay. It is some other data. Now we are going to insert the new data to the next of this new node. Okay, next of this already existing node. Okay, so this is the else part. So what we have to do, consider this example. Okay, consider this example. Already my queue has 83, 9 and 27. So this is status about front and rear. Now I'm going to insert this new node. Okay, this is insertion operation, so that I am looking into rear position. So what first step, what we have to do? Changing this rear arrow next. What is the rear of next? Okay, actually rear initially rear of next is equal to null. Okay, next is equal to null. Here is explainable. Yeah. Now what we have to do? This rear of next is now we are going to point to the new node. Okay. So what is the code? Rear arrow next is equal to n. Okay, that means now my rear of next is pointing to new node. Okay, this pointer link is changed. What is the next step? Now we have to change this rear position also. So how can we change this rear position now? Yes, how to write the code? Rear is equal to n. Okay, that means now rear is initialized. This rear is equal to n. This one. Okay, now rear is pointing to the new node. Okay. Assume this is 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000. Now what is the value of this rear is equal to 4000. Got it? Yes? Because it is dynamic memory allocation. Only you have to do change this next point position. Then you can assign the new rear value. Okay, any doubt on this rear NQ operation using this linked list representation? Any doubt on this NQ operation? Yes. First to check memory allocations are over, then you have to check whether our queue is empty or not. Okay. Then if it is not empty, so in this case, what we have to do, we can enqueue the new node in this queue. Any doubts? Shall I proceed for the DQ operation? Students, shall I proceed to the DQ operation? Yeah, Ritika, good. Now DQ operation. This is the algorithm for DQ operation. Once you go through it, same procedure only. Once you go through this DQ operation. Yes, DQ. Yeah, what we have to do, already I told you, for a DQ, we are concentrating only on the front position. Okay, we are delete the node at the front end. So we can change the front pointer alone. No need to bother about rear. Then one more thing, this is a linked list representation. Changing this front position is not at all enough. We must use the release whatever memory is allocated for that node. Okay, so that we are using the free function. Using this free function, we have to reallocate the release the memory for that particular node. Okay, here now this is a code for DQ operation. Yeah, DQ operation will be performed at the front end. Yeah, for this DQ, we are going to traverse the queue. This is not at all matter. One more thing. It's okay. Display now here for a DQ operation, we are as usual we are going to use one temporary pointer variable. Here I am using pointer t is a temporary pointer variable. Initially it points to the first node. Okay. Now, as usual, check the underflow condition. If underflow condition, you have to check check the front pointer. Overflow condition, you have to check the rear pointer. Okay. Yeah. If it is if not equal to null. Okay. Front is not equal to null. It enter into this else part. Okay. Now you have to set t is points to the first node. Then you have to change this front is equal to front of next. Okay. How we have to, that is increment front by 1. How can we increment this front by 1? This is similar to front plus plus. How can we increment it? This also you are very familiar with this statement. Okay, front is equal to front of next. Now our front is pointing here. Second node. Okay. Yeah, we will change the pointer position. Then what about this? How can we delete this node? Yeah, how can we delete? Using this free keyword. Okay, so you can use free of t. That's why we are using this temporary pointer variable. So through this t, we are going to delete the node. Okay, so once again I call this DQ operation. Okay, again create one temporary pointer variable. Check front is equal to null or not equal to null. Is it not equal to null? It enter into this else part. Then set the pointer temporary pointer variable t here. Okay, now t is pointing here. Then change front position. Now front, it will be pointing to the front of next. What is the address here? Front of next, assume this is address of the next node. So now change the front here. Now this is my front. Okay, then call free of t. Okay, this free of t. Delete a node. Once again, you call the DQ function. Again, is it front is not equal to null? So what we have to do? Yes, what we have to do? Set the pointer position once again. Then what is that? Front is equal to front of next. What we have to do? Front is equal to front of next. In this case, t is equal to front. Okay, now this is not null. Okay, then enter into this part. Front is equal to front of next. How can we remove this pointer variable? What is this? In this case, what we have to do? Any idea, students? What is this? That we discussed in array. Already I told you. This is a case of only one node in your list. Okay, only one node inside the queue. What we have to do after calling this, after this deleting this element, you have to set our, what is this? Queue is empty. Okay, how can we set this queue is empty? Students respond me. After this, deleting this node, you have to set my queue is empty. Okay, how can we set the queue is empty? Here in linked list, we are using that null value. Front is equal to 0, rear is equal to 0. Okay, that is the condition in DQ operation. That's it. This is a condition for DQ. Next one, display. Again, it's the same concept. This is a procedure, algorithm for display. Create one temporary variable, check whether this queue is underflow or not. If it is not, you enter into the sales part. You can set the temp is here, starting point, front. Then you have to check if temp of next is not null. Okay, print the data, whatever data it holds. Okay, 83. Yes. then you can increment the pointer position. Once you incremented the pointer position is temp is equal to temp of next, immediately you have to check the next field is null or not null. Here is not null. Okay, then print the corresponding data. So 9 will be printed here. Then you can increment the temp is equal to temp arrow next, then increment by 1. Now temp is here. Again, what will be happen here, which is not equal to null or equal to null. Temp of next is equal to null or not equal to null. Yeah, in this case, temp of next is not equal to null. Okay, equal to null. So what will have what happen? Printf temp of data will print or not. Here, any doubts, ma? Students, what is the mistake in this code? Yeah, whether this code will run properly or not, whether can we get all the elements up to 83 to up to 27 can we get? Where is the mistake in this code? Routine? Any one of you respond me? Yes? Where we have to give the printf statement in display function here? Any one of you students please respond me? Rajivam chat box work agda. Any one of you? Yes? What is that error in this routine? Students respond me. What is the error in this routine? One 45 members are there. Any one of you respond me? எங்கடா போயிட்டீங்க எல்லாரும்? Yes. Nityashree. Vishnu Roshan. Any, what is the error in this code? The last node value won't be printed. So how can we print it? What is the solution? How can we print like the last node value? Where we have to put the printf statement, or what is the condition of this display? Any one of you? Yes? So many display functions are there. We discussed a lot in linked list, W linked list, stack. It's a very, very easy routine for display the element from the list. How can we display the last node? Yes. What will be the code? Any one of you? You are searching, huh? Huh? All you searched, huh? Yeah, Harish, rear arrow data. Okay. Then? Yeah, rear arrow data. Okay, good. Any other changes? What about others, ma? What others are doing? What others are doing? Please respond me. Respond me. என்னதான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க? Anybody else? Only the same name, Harish only giving answer. What about others? Vandana, answer solluma. What is the answer for this question? Protein. Nityashree. Then Priyanka. Yeah, we set the temporary pointer here. Then immediately we are going to check the next field of this node. Okay, what is the next field of this node, which is not equal to null? Okay, no problem. Then we are going to print the data. What is the data here? How can we print this 83? that rear arrow data is for only for the last node. Is it suitable? Okay. So what about the concerned node data? How can we print? While temp not is equal to null. Yeah, while temp not is equal to null. Another option Nityashree. Yeah, while temp not is equal to null. Yeah, now what is the value here? Temp. Okay, temp is having 1,000. Okay, assume here 1,000. Okay, here 2,000. Okay, here 3,000. Okay, now. Okay, the first case temp is temp not equal to null. Okay, then print temp of data. Okay, no problem. Then increment temp by 1. Again here t. So now temp is not equal to null. So print the data 9. Then increment temp by 1. Now temp is not equal to null. Print. Okay, print temp of data. Okay. So what is the next one? Increment temp by 1. So now temp is here. Okay. Then again it will enter into this while condition. What is it? While temp is equal to null, it come out from the loop. So no need of this. One more printf. Okay, that is the error in this code. Nityashree, it is correct. Good. Okay, well, small changes are there. We discussed singly linked list, doubly linked list. Okay, circular linked list, then stack. Every implementation we are using the same notation only. Data part, next part. Okay, if it is there, what will happen? Okay, if you append this, you can update this link. What will happen? Everything we discussed a lot of time. Okay, so if small changes are there, now what will happen? You have to know. You have to, based on that, you can alter this code also. Okay. Any doubts for this display operation? Any doubts for this display operation? Like that, you have to do the remaining part, or how we have to print the front element, last element, then is empty and is full. Okay. So how can we print the front element? How can we print the print element? Print of front arrow data. Okay, always if your print is pointing here first node only, so that you can give printf %d front arrow data. It always returns the first element from the queue. Okay, the same thing printf %d rear arrow data. It always returns the last element from the queue. Okay, so always pointing the last element in the queue. So it returns the here in this example it returns 27. For rear. Okay, then is empty is full. If you want, you can use that routine separately. If rear is equal to null, then front is equal to null, then printf our queue is empty. Okay, like that we can check is empty function in here. Already I told you is full function, which is depends on the heap section memory. Okay. Yes, so always if malloc if you are using now, it automatically select the memory from the heap section, so we can't use that useful function for data. Yes, any doubt? Yeah, Suraj, what is your doubt? Suraj, what is your doubt? Yeah, if you use while temp of is equal to null and then the list is full, then we will get error. Yeah, actually this is dynamic memory allocation. Okay, wow, it's a dynamic memory allocation. If you are writing, implementing that code in implementing this code part, we can check that last condition. Okay, after that deleting the node and all we can set. You won't get the error. Okay, if you use while temp of next is equal to temp not equal to null, and then the list is full. If you have any errors, then you will get error. Okay, at that time we can use for traversing only. We are checking we can traverse the node one by one, no, so that we are using this condition. Okay, so based on that routine, based on that our application, we can select whether we need temp of next or temp next, or temp of next or temp null. Okay, you can select based on that operation, you can go for that notation. Whether we need temp of next we need or a temp we need, you have to select now. Okay. Yes, Suraj, got it? Okay, next. Next one more implementation. Implementation of this. This is a linked list representation. We create first node declaration. This is a data part and next part. Apart from that, we need two pointer variable, front pointer, rear pointer. For temp pointers and all, if you want to perform the traversal and delete operation, we need one temporary pointer variable. How many, whatever pointer variable you need, you can declare the node of the node creation. At the time of node creation, you can declare how many pointer variable you need. Okay. Then you can declare all the functions. Function declaration, you can declare all the functions. So this is not function call. This is for function declaration. You can declare all the functions one by one. So I declared enq, dq, empty, display, create. Then one extra functions, queue size, then front to last, all functions I declared one by one. For queue size, I need one temporary variable count, so that I declare initialize as a 0. Okay. Then main function. Again, using the switch case statement, I am calling the functions one by one. Case 1 enq, case 2 dq, 3 display, 4 is the front element, okay, is the last element, then empty, okay, then queue size and exit. So this is for create function. So listen here for inside this main, okay, before we calling that switch case statement, I called the create function. Okay. Before that, we need to create a node. Okay. Node creation is a separate part which is not included in the case. Okay. There's a default. So how to create the node? Is a node creation. Okay. Wow. Then is a enq operation through this memory allocation. You can first check the condition is not empty. Okay. You can create the node. Then second part, then third part, if already is node is there, you can insert change the rear arrow next to pointer. Okay, already node is there. Okay. This is for count purpose. How many nodes in the queue? For display, again you have to check this is empty. Okay, then check that pointer. Here I am using. Yeah, instead of using T or temp, here I am using front one, temporary pointer variable. Okay, next one, DQ operation here. Then front element and display element. Okay. First one, insert the, I'm giving the first two operation. First option, insert the element 10, Okay, then second element, then third element, fourth element, fifth element. Then I will display. First element, second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element. Then I display operation. Then pop enqueue. Second, 2 times I called the pop operation. Then display. Then fourth one. What is the fourth one? Is the last front element. Is the last element. What is the sixth one? It's empty. Then seventh one is not full. This will give the queue size. Last one. Okay. Now this is your output. So first one. Here enter the choice. Enter the choice, enter the data. Then enter choice DQ, 10 and 20 DQ. So after that, display work agala. Front element is 30, then last element 50. Then queue is not empty. Now our queue is after deleted the element, our queue size is 3. Okay. Got it up? What is the why display function is not working? Display name also display. Function definition create size enqueue DQ is display. Once again run the program. And now okay, once again. So only small changes are there. Okay, the remaining functions are working properly. Nothing is there, only open and closing calibrator is missing. Okay. So display, insert all the elements one by one. Now your display function is working properly. So it displayed 10, 20, 30 and 40, 50. Okay. Then after this, you can delete the value. I called the pop function to a DQ function 2 times, 10 and 20 deleted. After that deletion, 30, 40, 50 is there. The topmost element is 30. Last element is 50. Queue is not empty. Our queue size is 30, 40, 50 so that it return 3. Got it? So any doubts on this? This is a demo for linked list representation. Any doubts on this one? So tomorrow we will discuss about the circular queue. Any doubts? Why MLOP? Why not MLOP? What question, Harish? Why MLOP? 1 star size of stack to know. Now that is nothing but this is another different format of there, okay, which is similar to what we have written so far. We discussed what is the same syntax for this. What is that syntax for this malloc function? We know that what is that malloc is the variable new node is which is equal to struct node type asterisk malloc. Usually we have written size of struct node type. Okay, that means this is a malloc function. It taking the argument the size of operator alone. Okay, that means it return positive integer. Okay, wow. The size of operator it will return positive. Positive type of integer, so that we are using one. That is no need to bother about this and all. If you take this one, no problem, it will run that program. Okay, nothing is there, ma. That anyway, here we are going to perform the typecasting. Okay, so void pointer always it return the positive unsigned positive integer. Okay. Okay, so far we discussed about Q, array implementation of Q and linked list implementation of Q. What are the operations we are performed on that Q? Okay, the basic operation NQ, DQ, then it returns front, then rear value, then is empty, is full. The same operations are there. Okay. Any doubts? See, you all are requested to complete your assignment problem. Okay, you have the answer. No need to, you don't have that entire in between steps and all. So compulsory you sit and do that all that exercise. If you are already you have done, you once you verify with that answer. Okay. If you have any doubts when you are coming to the next class, Thursday class, if any doubts or if answer is mismatched, you can ask. In this place, I have a doubt, you can ask like that. Okay. Any doubts, ma'am? Students, any doubts? Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.